share, recipe share. Share a little recipe with Recipe Share. Recipe Share, Recipe Share. Share a little recipe with Recipe Share.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Recipe Share, a program on AADL TV where we take a few minutes to talk about recipes from a featured category. Today's category is Super Smoothies. I'm Beth, and I'm with Katie today, and we also have Ben, who is our video editor. And Ben let us know that he really likes smoothies, so we thought we'd include him on this episode. So I wanted to ask Katie to go first. Katie, tell us about your smoothies this week.
All right. So the recipe that I'm sharing this week comes from a book that I originally found at the library, but I loved it so much that it is mine now. I own this book, Damn Delicious Meal Prep. It's 115 easy recipes for low calorie, high energy living from Chunga Ree. You can see I've got like a million bookmarks in here. I usually consult this book when I get in like a lunch rut or something. It's really great for that kind of thing. Just need some ideas. I hadn't really consulted this book for smoothie recipes before. I have some other books that I use for that, but I happened to be looking through it and realized that there's a whole section in here on smoothies that I hadn't looked at before. So I was looking for something a little bit unique, and this one jumped out at me. This is a berry melon smoothie. So I've made lots of berry smoothies before, but I've never used melon in a smoothie. So I was looking forward to trying this, especially since it calls for watermelon and cantaloupe as the melons, and those are like my two favorites. Especially watermelon is like one of my favorite things in the world. Anything watermelon flavored, I'm usually like all about it. So I was super excited to try this recipe. So it requires a little bit of prep. You have to freeze your ingredients prior to making your smoothie. So you need 4 cups of diced watermelon, 2 cups of diced cantaloupe, a cup of frozen raspberries, and 1/3 of a cup of fresh mint leaves, which is really lovely. And I'm growing those on my deck right now. So that was really nice to be able to just go and get those ingredients. And so this recipe says that you divide all these ingredients to 4 Ziploc bags and then freeze them. So it makes 4 servings, but I like an extra large smoothie. So I put them into 2 larger Ziploc bags, and I've got a picture of that here right now. And I know you guys can't see it, but if you could, you would say maybe there's something a little bit off with my picture because it doesn't look like there is any watermelon in there. Because the weirdest thing happened, at least for me. I got my watermelon home from Whole Foods. I cut it open and the inside was yellow.
Oh, yeah.
And I had never even heard of, let alone seen a yellow watermelon before. So Beth, you sound like that's familiar to you. You've seen one before?
I have been.
It was supposed to be yellow.
It's a thing. It's a variety.
Yeah, it's a thing. I saw people last year saying the same thing. I came home and my watermelon was yellow. Yeah.
Wild. So I have a picture of when I cut it open. The inside is bright yellow. And so, yeah, I had to do a Google real quick, like, is this normal? And it is. It's just a variety. It tastes exactly like your pink variety of watermelon. Oh. So like no difference in taste to me, and Google agreed. So that was just a yellow watermelon. Wow. Never knew. So I learned something new. Once I got over my shock, I proceeded with the recipe. So just go ahead and froze my ingredients overnight. And then to make the smoothie, you add in coconut water, fresh lime juice, and honey. I end up having to use a little bit more coconut water than the recipe called for, but I think it was probably because I was making a double batch. And so it just needed a little bit more liquid for my blender to be able to get it into smoothie consistency. But this was awesome. I really, really liked it. I liked it so much that the next day I made the rest of it. And so this is long gone and I need to make it again, especially since we're still in melon season. But this is definitely a really neat summer smoothie recipe.
Yeah, it sounds really refreshing, especially with the mint. Like mint and watermelon just sound like they go together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think watermelon too is a very underused fruit. Like the fact that we don't drink watermelon juice, and it's not like I never hear of smoothies, watermelon smoothies. That sounds really good.
Yeah, there's so much water in them. They
Yeah.
should be. Yeah, that sounds really yummy. It's usually what I say, but it's true. And adding the lime juice too gives it that little tang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I think like the mint, the lime, the
Raspberries.
watermelon, yeah, all came together. And the mint, you're right, was definitely a lovely bonus to the smoothie that I wouldn't necessarily have thought of, but I think you could add it to a lot of other smoothies too, like just a berry smoothie. Like it might add a little bit of freshness to it. So something to think about.
Yeah.
Ben, I'm so excited to hear about your smoothies. Please tell us.
Well, I'll first say it's an honor to be here. Big fan of the show. So yeah, when I heard Katie, I think brainstorming the upcoming shows, or I saw it that Smoothies was on there, I jumped on the opportunity, invited myself. And so I make 2 smoothies. I have like a daytime and a nighttime. And I've been making these since college. It's been like about 10 years of fine tuning the craft of my smoothies. So the daytime one is pretty much just a fruit blend. All of my ingredients are organic, and I pretty much eyeball them because some days I'm feeling more fruit, some days I need the extra calories, so I put more of the coconut. But so it starts with organic almond milk. I would guess about a cup. Like you, Katie, I like a big smoothie. This is like my first meal. So a cup of almond milk, about 2 tablespoons of organic coconut milk. And I like the canned stuff, the real thick canned coconut milk. It just adds a good creamy consistency. A scoop of grass-fed whey protein, a scoop of collagen protein, and then it's a 4-berry blend mix that I just get at Costco. It's blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries. So it comes out pretty red, purplish. As you'll see, I've got a photo right here. I add some honey into this and then chia seeds.
Mm.
And again, it's kind of all eyeball. The chia seeds is probably about a tablespoon. The honey, really just like one little go around on the honey. And yeah, it just makes a really refreshing, pretty high calorie smoothie. This is not for if you're watching your calories, counting calories, because the grass-fed whey protein and that coconut milk. When I make this, it gets about to 24 ounces and probably around like 800 calories.
Ooh,
So it's a big meal replacement. So that's the one that I do most days. Like I hit that almost every day. I had one this morning. And then the nighttime one is kind of more of a treat. It's a chocolatey peanut butter treat. It's kind of the same base, the organic almond milk, coconut milk. I'll do 1 scoop of chocolate whey protein, 1 scoop of chocolate collagen protein. I'll freeze the bananas beforehand, kind of like yours, Katie. So I'll have half of a frozen banana just ready to throw in there. Again, a little bit of honey. And then the secret ingredient on this one, if you want a real treat, I put a little bit of malt powder in there, like malt for milkshakes. Put a little bit of that in there. I've got a photo right here. This one's a lot just more like a milkshake, chocolate peanut butter milkshake, and it will satisfy your sweet tooth at the end of the night. This one I have less. My fruit one is a pretty much daily, but this one's just kind of the end of the night treat if I feel like having a sweet tooth. And again, not low calorie. So adjust accordingly on any of the ingredients. But that's what I like about these. It's so flexible. If I'm feeling like a little bit more than one day, I could substitute, or it's always kind of changing. So those are my 2 go-tos. I've been making them for years now. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really good.
I wanted to ask you about the chia seeds though. Do you have to put those in earlier, or do you put them because
no, I put it in just kind of the normal. They do soften up and they'll expand a little bit. These are just the standard chia seeds from Trader Joe's is the ones that I use. Maybe other ones. I have had some that were a little bit harder, that stayed a little bit harder. But no, these I don't even notice in there. I drink it through a straw, as you saw with the photos. So I've got a real long straw that it just makes me drink it quicker, like easier. but I don't even notice them in there. They're just really good for your digestive system, and it's good fiber. And I just kind of add it as a health superfood bonus instead of flavor or anything.
It's a good
So
idea.
along those same lines, I wanted to ask you about the collagen powder, because that's just an ingredient that I'm unfamiliar with. So what's the purpose of that?
It's really good for your skin, hair, nails. It's just a good thing to be, having. It comes from collagen proteins from cow. So it's not vegan by any means. It comes from like their joint collagen, which sounds kind of weird, but it's just powdered into a tasteless little scoop, and it's just added health benefits. There's a little protein in it, but it's just good for your overall health. A friend put me onto it, and I don't use it as my main protein. It's kind of just a supplemental beauty supply thing for me.
Is that the same as collagen peptides?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is collagen peptides. Yeah, it might have said collagen protein. I think it says collagen peptide protein. Powder.
Okay.
It's from Costco. It's the blue. I think it's called Vital Proteins. It's pretty popular. You can get it all over. And they make a chocolate version of it, which I use for the nighttime one.
Yeah, they say it was recommended to me for, people of my age.
Sure,
for your skin and for wrinkles and stuff.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's just good for your looks, I guess. I don't know.
Cool. That sounds great. Those smoothies sound excellent. And that's really, really cool that you've been making them for so long. I mean, that you can find something like that you just stick with and love. That's awesome.
Yep. And the fact that my Ninja blender has lasted since 2012. I mean, it's 1,000 volt. It's a machine, and I keep it very clean. I like to maintain my blender because I use it so much, but it's really shout out to Ninja blenders. The fact that I've been able to
shout out to Ninja. That's my cat's name.
Yeah, actually that's Ninja.
But mine did not last that long. So maybe, but probably.
Well, I've had my Ninja for 2 years now, and I love it. Still going strong. So would recommend as well so far for me.
There's Ninja.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I'll pass it on back to Beth. Let's hear
All right.
I'm making.
Okay, so thank you. I tend to make smoothies by just throwing stuff together, that's usually what I do. Surprise. But I looked up a recipe because I was curious. I wanted something ginger forward. So I just looked up, quick Googled, ginger smoothies, and one came up that is exactly the way I make smoothies, just with stuff I happen to have, which was a frozen banana, a cup of coconut water, and a big chunk of ginger that I keep in my freezer. We keep ginger in our freezer, and it's easier to grate when you get it out, but I just peeled it and put a chunk in there. It was delicious. I did not take a picture because the frozen banana just, it's not real pretty color, but I was also curious how simple it would be to make other smoothies. So the next day I took a mango, and it was like dripping all over, it was really mushy, but mango, cup of coconut water, and again, a chunk of ginger, and ice cubes. Sorry, I didn't mention that. Yes, some ice cubes, not a lot though, just like 4 or 5. But yeah, then it was delicious. It was bright mango colored. I didn't take a picture because you know how beautiful mangoes can be. But again, that ginger, and super simple. And I think I'm going to just keep doing things the way I do it. If I feel like adding spinach or chia, I will do that. But I kind of like just going freestyle.
So are you telling me that you made a smoothie with frozen banana, ginger, coconut water, and ice?
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would add turmeric.
What was that?
Turmeric. You could add turmeric to it.
Totally.
That could be good, but I'm just kind of blown away at your very simple ginger smoothie. I think it sounds excellent. What were you going to say, Ben?
How much ginger does it take? I feel like I'm intimidated by using ginger because I don't know. How much do you use?
So it said to use a tablespoon of fresh ginger. I just took a chunk. I don't know what I wanted it to be gingery. So,
Yeah.
and then the second time I did it, I didn't even fully peel it because I'd read that you don't have to peel it if you're putting it in. So I just threw it in, and I mean, the only little bit of chunk I had was actual ginger, which I really like. So,
And your blender just chops that whole chunk of it
so
up?
yes, we got a new blender recently in, preparation for this show, but we've been making smoothies a lot, and then it broke down. So we were missing having them. It's a really great thing to have, like after you work out and like
Yeah.
as you're ready for work. And, yeah, so I just cut like an inch, no, like this much. I know you're not supposed to do that, but, yeah. So if you like ginger, throw it into any of your recipes, because I was down with it. Faux show. Any other comments about any of our smoothies today?
Oh, it sounds good. Yeah, mango ginger is a combination I've never thought of, but I'm curious now.
Yeah, ginger. Also, it's good for your tummy.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of good properties. So,
Yeah.
so I want to say thank you, Ben, for joining us, and
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for watching Recipe Share, and be sure to click the link below to look at the event page on aadl.org to find the recipes we talked about and share your own in the comments. Join us next time when we'll be talking about recipes that are 100% local. We look forward to seeing what you've been making, so thanks for sharing.
Recipe share, recipe share, share a little recipe with Recipe Share.